Hey you guys, I come back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Before I start, I just wanted to thank everyone who have already subscribed to my channel, and for those who are new to my channel, welcome, and pretty please subscribe, like, share and comment. Today it's just like a chill day, chill vibe, so I decided, you know what, let me just take a YouTube content. I've not been vlogging because I've been in the office. Remember, I promised you the court vlog of what I do in court and all that, so I couldn't take that because I've not been in court for like quite some time now. So I promised to take it whenever I go. This video is really going to be very informative. Probably it might assist those who are looking to study law and they just want tips, or they want to know what to expect in terms of the duration, how long it takes and what to expect. Don't know whether to really go with this legal route. I started my high school in 2011. 2015 I matriculated. The subjects that I took in high school, I think they're the major reason why I am in this profession, because really I didn't imagine myself to be in the profession. It wasn't really in my mind. There's a lot of studying, there's a lot of reading. Of course I like reading, but I didn't imagine reading legal documents. South Africans know that we choose our electives in grade 10, so I chose my electives, but most importantly I wanted to do commercial subjects with an inclusion of pure maths, with a major in pure maths. But then my school didn't offer that. They only offered mathematical literacy, mainly because most students in the past, most learners had failed pure maths and commerce, so they decided, in order to push that grade for that particular year, it was in, let me see, 2011, 12, 2013, yes, if I'm not mistaken. Most learners in my school had failed the commercial class because of mathematics. So I then had no other alternative but to just go, and because I liked commercial studies so much, I liked accounting, I enjoyed business studies, I enjoyed economics, I wouldn't prioritize that for physics. I didn't like it, so I wanted to do what I like, and also what I know I'm good at. I was good in numbers in high school. Unfortunately, I don't know now. So I chose those subjects, and then in grade 11, mostly they tell you apply at a university with your grade 11 marks. So I aimed to push my grade 11 marks. They were not really bad, but yeah, they at least allowed me university entrance. Fine. I then do what we call the national benchmark tests. Guys, I failed those tests. I failed those tests because mostly they include pure maths. They have like pure mathematics. So as a student who doesn't have, okay, I have background from grade from grade 9 and downwards, because that's what they teach. But then, like, the maths there was just too technical. I didn't do well. And guess what? I'm not gonna talk much about my family and all that, because this is all about me. But anyway, my sister applied for me. She was already in Cape Town by that time. So I told her I wanted to study in Cape Town, and one of the reasons was to be in UCT. I liked UCT so bad because obviously it was like the leading university. It still is in South Africa and in Africa as a whole. So who wouldn't want to go there? I told her to apply for me at UCT. I didn't like UJ. I didn't like the universities that around me or near me at that time, because I wanted to explore. One thing about me, I like exploring. I don't like limiting myself to that particular environment. So I wanted to experience a new environment, and of course I thought my sister would be there and then we'll have like a good time. But unfortunately, when I got there, she was already done with what she was doing that time. So she went home. I had to be by my own. Fine, going back to the university acceptances. I got rejected at UCT because of my benchmark test, and my matric results were really good. But for the fact that I wanted to do Bachelor's of Commerce with a mathematical literacy, they didn't allow that. And I think my sister didn't know that you can actually do foundation phase and then study towards what you want. So she applied directly to the main is a 3-year program, the diploma. Is it a diploma? Bachelor's? I think it's a bachelor's in commerce, guys. I don't know anymore. But anyway, I knew at that time because that was what I wanted. I got rejected for that reason, which is mathematics. And Stellenbosch, she also applied at Stellenbosch. The reason I got rejected for Stellenbosch, it's mainly because I think she didn't complete the application, so obviously they wouldn't proceed with it. And then I got accepted at UWC, University of the Western Cape. Bush, guys, the whole bush. Bush. I got accepted at Bush. And guess what? Guess for what? Out of all the careers, my sister chose LLB. I never anticipated that. Yeah, voila, I'm in Bush. My first experience at Bush was the worst. I didn't like it. When I got there, I just didn't like everything that I saw, because what they show in the internet is wow, very different, like very different from what you see inside. I didn't like it also because I watched movies a lot, and I had this mentality that a university should be like this and this and that and that. And Bush is like secured. It's not like your UCT wherein there's like upper campus, middle campus, lower campus, and there's no like gates and all that. Bush is straightforward. It's secured. It's in a township, so they have to make sure that the security is tight. So it's secured, or you have all your residences inside, and obviously there is your off-campus residences. And guess what? I got placed at an off-campus residence. It was near the hospital. Mostly they place nursing students and dentistry students there because they do their practicals that side. It's in Tigerback Hospital. That's where I used to stay at off-campus residence. I was so sad. Like, I wanted to go home, but I'm like, when I go home, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do at home? I thought about it. I even called my mom. I'm like, Mama, this law degree, number one, I don't think it's for me. Number two, this university is a wrong choice. That's what I said. You know what was her response? I was like, oh, okay, fine. You can come back and take care of your niece. That was it. Then I knew, African parents and black males. Hey, guys. I wouldn't go home. So I tried to do applications during the year at UCT to like at least transfer there, but I was like, it's going to be a waste. It was going to be a waste of time if, for instance, I get rejected. But I ended up not applying. I ended up enjoying what I was studying at that time, which is law. Now, the experience at university, not specifically the name of the institution, but university as a whole. Remember, I am from, as I said, I was born and bred in a city. Fine, but then along the way, I did my high school in it's a semi-village. It's your developed villages. Like, there's some parts they have storages, there's mode of transport and all that. I did my high school there. Is there anything like semi-developed village? I don't know. Some call it a township or whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't specify the place directly. But those who know me, they know where I did my high school. It was a public school. I went to 100% no fee school. You can imagine I have to adjust to speaking English every day. Of course, that was not the problem. Like, for me, we always spoke English at my home with my sister, with my mom. My sister, for some reasons, was always like this. She also went to 100% no fee public school, but she really sounded like she went to a model C school. That's where I got the confidence and courage. My problem was the lecturing mode. Remember, in high school, we are used to one teacher who has this like less than 50 class. Yes, we were less than 50 in my high school in a class. Most classes, yes. So we used to that, and you used to being the top of the school. I've never seen hurricane like that. It was like hurricane. It was like everything was like against me. I had to adjust, number one, to the lecturing mode. I'm like, oh, are we in a conference or what are we in? This is the class. Oh, okay, fine. Fine, I was cool with that. Along the way, I became fine with that. But my marks, I wasn't impressed at all. When you're used to doing good and you're no longer doing good, you lose confidence and self-esteem. So I then dealt with a lot at that time. I started to not believing in myself and losing I started to lose focus, and I think mostly because I didn't understand what was being taught. It was new to me. Your introduction to legal systems, your Customary laws. Okay, customary laws, I made sure that I score marks there because that is traditional things. Because I mean, we are Africans. Who doesn't know customary law? When you're from Africa, then clearly you would know indigenous law. But for the rest, I really struggled because I thought I knew, but then only to find that I don't know anything. I failed 2 subjects. Not failed. I had a sub. I had 2 subs. I had to go back December to rewrite. Then I passed. Second year, I improved a little bit. Third year, I was like this. I was already fully cooked. I did really good, above average good. Not average, above average. Before I get there to third year, I think what affected my marks in the first and second year would be what I went through at that time. I had a bursary, you guys, yes, but I didn't know that it doesn't provide for your living allowance, doesn't provide your meals and so forth. And at that time, NSFAS was still a loan, so I wouldn't go for NSFAS. I'd rather continue with my bursary. And I got an automatic bursary. It was top 3 students. Fees wise, tuition wise, and residence, I was fine. But coming to living expenses, I had to sort myself out. Luckily, in my third year, I got a job as a peer mentor. They still ask me whenever they need something, and yeah, I had a job which was not really good paying, but at least I could afford my living expenses. Now, getting into the core of this video, what to expect in the LLB degree, or things that I wish I knew. Number 1, I didn't know that it will take me so long to become an attorney. I thought once you are done with your NLB, because it normally says it's 4 years, but unfortunately it can take you something like 6 to 7 years to become admitted, and admitted without right of appearance in the High Court. Tell you what, so when you become admitted as an attorney, it doesn't mean that you automatically can appear in the High Court unless you have done the practical advocacy training for legal practitioners. I think it's something like 6 months or a year, I'm not quite sure about that. And then that's when you can apply, satisfy yourself that you can now appear in the High Court. And then that's when the register of the High Court, they can, after looking at your experience and probably the course, they can declare you fit to appear in the High Court, and they issue what we call the High Court right of appearance in South Africa, in South African High Courts. So I didn't know that. I wish I knew. Like, I really wish I knew it will take me so long. So once you are done with your LLB degree, you can either do, that's 4 years, right? We're counting 4 years. The normal route, the normal route, not the foundation phase. It's 4 years, fine. And then you now have to do 2 years of articles. I always advise people to do 2 years of articles. That are really helpful. But you can do 2 years, or you can do 1 year with 6 months of 6 months of law school. But let's say you do 2 years, you still have, you apply, you do your board exams and whatever, you pass, and then now you are now a junior attorney without right of appearance in the High Court. Now you have to work for the right of appearance in the High Court. Guys, I felt like it was a scam. Honestly, I felt so like they could have told I didn't have all this information. Maybe you do, maybe some do. Like some students, what I've seen, they do good research before anything else, before they even proceed with applications. They already know what they're going to do. Number 2, I wish I had applied for my articles in my second year. Of course I knew, but I didn't take it seriously because I wanted to focus on my studies, and I wasn't doing very well, so I thought I might not even get accepted for anything. But I wish I had also applied at that time during my second year or even first year, but it's unlikely to get articles in your first year. Mostly they will take you in your second year, knowing that you only left with something like 2 years, then you can come and wait for them. Number 3, hey, of course you would like to hear this. Hey, I didn't know that this profession doesn't have chin-chin. There is no chin-chin. It takes time to make chin-chin. It really takes time to make good money in this profession, and you have to be good and be dedicated, or just like any other profession. But the difference about this one is it takes time. You don't get it right from the start, unless of course you get into the big fives, and getting into the big fives, you must be performing exceptionally well and above average mostly. Unless you can tell me there's anyone who've been accepted with very, very low grades. I don't know any. I have hardly seen candidate attorneys going to courts. They have hardly, but maybe because their area and do litigation mostly. It's number 4, networking. This should be actually number 1. Network from your first year. It's really important. Network with your lecturers. They are human beings. Network with your mentors. Network with everyone that you come across, who come across to be in higher level in terms of the profession. Network with them. They are really helpful. It's really helpful to network. Otherwise you wouldn't get this whole information, the deepest information about this career. So, otherwise you'd also know information, you wouldn't know where to. You just know that you have to be an attorney and that's it. But then trust me, networking is really helpful. I wish I had done that. I wish I knew that I would need it now. Of course I do, and I make sure now that every little opportunity that I get to network, I grab it with both my hands, because you will not make it alone in this profession. You need your colleagues, you need your friends, your lecturers, because also when you apply to the next degree, say you wanna do your masters, you need your lecturers' references. And guess what? If they don't know you, how will they write the reference? Unless of course it's your copy and paste kind of thing. It's very important to make use of the time you have with your lecturers, not only lecturers but even visitors. Like for example, we would have like small workshops, like we had the SAWJ program, SACWJ spring program. We were mentored by women judges and magistrates, and I happened to have gotten, like, it was such a luck for me to get my mentor. She's still mentoring me now. Whenever I need anything, whenever I legally, career wise, whenever I'm stuck, I consult her. She's a magistrate. She's been presiding for quite some years. She was once a lecturer, so it's really helpful to network with everyone. And also when you want to do your masters, if you have a good network, you can always ask your networks, like, what's a good research topic to do? What would you recommend? Like, do you think this is a good topic for me for research? Do you think it's researchable? How can you assist me? Hey, please assist me in terms of reviewing my research. That's one thing I lacked. And remember, I'm a very introvert but extrovert. I don't know what's that, but I prefer, and it's not a preference, but I enjoy, rather, I think it's a matter of being in a comfort zone too much. I enjoy my own space. I enjoy time alone. Like, whenever I'm in the room, you won't even see me outside. It's just what I like. That's what I enjoy, you know. And I find it hard to make new friends, although they find it easier to make friends with me because I'm very friendly as well. Make friends, I find it hard. And one thing about me, I don't understand how I find it hard to, like, be around people, but then I enjoy public speaking. That's one thing I enjoy. If I were to go to court and talk the whole day with the courtroom being like crowded, I'd do that again and again and again. I enjoy public speaking. I'm not scared of public speaking, but I'm not scared, but I cannot, like, be around people that I don't know and have like mini conversations with them, like especially people that well, the fifth one, it takes reading. It takes lots of work for you to become a good legal professional. Don't expect to be sitting and doing nothing and then expect you're gonna become a very good legal professional based on your number of years. Well, for us, it unfortunately doesn't work like that. You'll have to read. Trust me, even when you are admitted, do the reading every single day. The drafting, you will draft a lot and lots of documents. Yeah, the other time we had like this big bundles, like 5 of them. It was a very high profile matter. It was we did all the drafting, we did all the issuing, like from start. It was really hectic. So I thought we're gonna have legal secretaries that do the drafting and we only do the appearances. And shame, we hardly even do appearances if you don't do litigation. So yeah, I guess that's most big law firms also, they don't do much appearances, because mostly it's the litigation department. I don't think it's that. I think I'm gonna have to do a part 2 for this one. If there be a need, I might have to do a part 2 for this one. Things that you should expect before or in your legal career. I'll have to call it a day or a video. Please make sure, guys, not to leave this video without liking and subscribing. I need it. Like, please do it for me. Even if you don't like me, but just hit that subscribe button. Even if I was boring, even if I'm boring you, but that subscription means a lot to me, and I thank you in advance. Please, please, please subscribe. As we say in a legal way, may I be excused.